term big data is, a buzzword. Everyone uses, everyone knows that others are using, but nobody knows what it is. So my interpretation is simple. It will be, in your company context, all the data that you might have based on your daily processes or external data that you can have. Just think about this. This is all the data that you can imagine that could be available for computers to do some computing. What I see is that we have the data, but it's like you are watching a 3D movie every day from 9 to 5, but they don't give you the glasses. It's blurry, really, it's blurry. I can tell you, I cannot see you. But this is the typical situation for business leaders, how they run the business. And the data science is basically the glasses. Pointing you what is wrong, or what is the potential, or what could happen actually if you do something, some new things.
So the data is the gold mine that nobody has actually started mining.
It's the last resource that you haven't leveraged fully. Okay. You will do it over the next 5 years, you will do it, and then I don't know what will be the next. But for the next 5 years, this is the source.
The most important thing is that when you are using data, is that by then you are creating great customer experiences to the customer. It means that when you are contacting your customer, for example, you are doing at the right time, at the right, using the right channel, you are addressing this customer with the right product. What this customer is really interested about. So basically, and of course, improving customer service. So data is always used in that terms that, for example, we want to use cheaper channels for the customer service, but they call to call center, for example, all the time. So how to direct, for example, those customers away from contact center to cheaper channels?
Sometimes numbers tell you one story, the customers tell you another story, and in real life, when you observe them, they do the third thing. Relying on data, I'd say you can't always be 100% sure. So that's why we as service designers, we validate it through actually stepping into the customer's shoes and looking at things through the customer's eyes.
There is no high value millions, trillions coming in if you do some analytics. Because the business size is that small. So you can optimize really only small things. But if the size is a bit bigger and the complexity gets a bit bigger, then you don't have any more those glasses to see those 3D movies. If the top managers are not interested on making data-driven decisions, you can provide whatever you want or whatever you desire. They just don't make it work.
Well, like they say, if you want to prove something, then statistics is the best means to do so. I mean, you will always find the appropriate numbers to prove whatever gut feeling you have. So that's kind of the other side of the coin.
There isn't any unique issues. So it means that you do not need to discover it, invent it by yourself. Be smart enough, go around, research what the others have done, and then make that kind of, from their practices, make good decisions.
The amount of data is not a sign of quality, because data becomes information, and information through some other filters becomes knowledge eventually. So there is always human factor involved, and that's the bunch of people here in this room. I mean, the data scientists, analysts, who actually figure out which data points make sense when put together, and what to research so that we actually find out something that is important for us business-wise or customer experience-wise.
But often what happens, those data analysts, they just get the data and then they aggregate this. But they don't receive any that kind of physical feeling about what are the data elements actually. I'm just, aggregating, making a cube, and then you can explore it. Important is that I will really know how the data was collected, what it really means. Because maybe I need to manipulate a bit the data, taking some noise out, multiplying some features in order to make the data talkable to me. And often this is missing. And this is now about what data scientists are actually doing. They know the business area, they know the data, they are capable for doing managing the tools, and then they have a feeling about what's the data they have. And it's crucial. Otherwise, it's like numbers in the table. I will aggregate this, and no value out of that.
What's going to be the role of the business analyst in an increasingly data-driven corporate environment?
From the business analyst perspective, I think the data will give you more power to actually say what is right and what is wrong. So I would see that the data and the data analytics is one of the toolbox for business analysts. And it will differentiate yourself. Opinions versus facts. Data is giving you the facts, and the facts have the power. Opinions are just subjective, I like, I don't like, you like me, you don't like me, it doesn't matter. But if business analysts will have it like if you would be really good on data science, then it will make you different from other BAs. Because you are able to reason your opinions with the data. If you use some large amount of data analytics and you have a lot of reports, but nobody cares. I have advice there that try to make those analytic tasks actionable. Avoid just providing the dashboard, because then you still have the person there making a decision, interpreting. But try to make those analytic results so that you apply them on customers, on decisions. It's like automating the decision process, because then you will verify it very quickly. Is there value or not? And that's one of the reasons why people care about the data science projects is that the result depends on the data. And if I'm asked to come and mine some data, I have had, let's say, 30% of the cases results negative. Sorry, we couldn't find anything. We have a missing data. We have data not describing the process, and people fear that.
What I gather is basically, as a very practical suggestion, start mooking, open a GitHub account, and read about, from blogs and so on, how data science are being used. And that can help you get inspiration on how you can stay relevant and what you can bring in from the data science into your business analysis work to stay relative, competitive, and attractive in the next 5 years. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For the panel and for this audience.
Thank you.